and welcome back to Mads World. It's me, your host Mads, and I am delighted to welcome you back to another week of the pod. If you are enjoying Mads World each week, please remember to subscribe, rate and review the podcast, or just share it with a mate who may enjoy it. You can also financially support the show at the link in my episode description that says support Mads World for the price of a coffee. This week, I asked you guys to share your wildest food fetishes with me, and I am thrilled to be joined by Lucas Oakeley to chat all about them. Lucas is the senior content editor at Mob Kitchen. He's passionate about good food, good drink, and getting people to consume as much of both of those things as humanly possible. Outside of Mob, he's had his writing published in a range of different publications, including The Guardian, Nat Geo, The Independent, Esquire, Vice, and The Economist. He was also a finalist for the Guild of Food Writers Food Writing Award in 2020. Mob Kitchen is an online cooking and content platform whose mission is to help students and young professionals prepare restaurant-quality meals on a budget and aid them in learning more about food and drink culture. They have exploded onto the social media food scene over the last 3 years and currently have over 600,000 Instagram followers and 500,000 followers on TikTok. Up next, you'll hear my chat with Lucas all about our thoughts on kebab fetishes, jelly wrestling, Mars bar parties, and lots more. Hi, Lucas.
Hi, Maddie. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm coping. We're getting towards the tail end of this old pandemic, so I'm excited to get some freedom. Yeah.
Me too. And I think Monday we're allowed. There's a bit more restrictions and stuff ending, so hopefully you can get back into your restaurant vibe because you're a food blogger.
Yeah, I'm a big taste boy. So I think getting back inside of restaurants it's high on my agenda. Like this outside dining's fine, but I'm very cold at the moment. You know, the gas heat is going to do so much.
I'm tired of wearing the North Face on every outing and covering up my outfits.
It's a great look though. You know, get the North Face, get the Patagonia out. It's a good excuse for a fleece, but yeah, I'm ready for shorts on the inside.
Right. Let's start with our speed date round so everyone can get to know Lucas a little bit better. So how long have you worked with Mob, and can you tell me more about the work that you do with them?
Yeah, so I've only officially worked with Mob since January as a full-time employee, but I started doing sort of like freelance work with them as a freelance writer probably about this time last year. So then I was hired in January initially as the website editor, but I've taken on a new role as the senior content editor, which is slightly different. So I sort of I basically handled the written side of Mob's content, so any articles uploaded onto the website, it's all my doing, and sort of getting involved in copywriting across all the various different channels now. So hopefully one day it'll just be sort of like anything written is sort of done by me at Mob, but at the moment it's all, you know, it's all exciting. It's all very hunky-dory. And
what's the best thing about working with Mob?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds really cliche, but the best thing is the people.
Yeah.
Like, everyone on the team is just that they really believe in the brand, and everyone in it's sort of really motivated. We're working towards this like common goal together, which is I get a real buzz out of that.
Yeah.
I mean, all the free food and recipe testing is also really that helps. Yeah,
I can imagine. And you are known for some of your more controversial food opinions. So, what are some of your most controversial food opinions that have been quite polarizing for the Mob audience?
Oh God, I've got a few. The first one I did was about bacon. It's basically bacon being overrated, and that was that went down quite badly with a lot of people. I did one the other week on cupcakes because I think cupcakes are fucking terrible.
What?
I talked about that.
No, but they're just like tiny version of the cakes. They're so good.
They are tiny versions of cakes, and I hate them.
Why?
I think it's just one of those things I get quite angry about things very easily. So like ketchup, personally, I think is the most disgusting thing on the planet. I cannot stand the stuff. It's
oh my God.
It's anything I refuse to eat. If someone puts ketchup on something, I'll actually just not eat that food.
Oh my God. Do you know what my ultimate hangover food is? Well, I'm 7 months sober, but when I used to get hangovers, my ultimate hangover food was pasta, ketchup, cheddar cheese, salt and pepper.
Yeah, that's horrible. That's
Does that
me.
make you
it's
angry?
It doesn't make me angry. It just makes me upset for you. Like, I feel so sorry for you, babe. That sucks.
I know. I mean, I haven't made it in a long time, so you can't judge me too harshly. I've moved past it.
Yeah, we're growing, you know, we're learning. Yeah.
Yeah. And one of your more recent ones was that you hate avocado.
Yes. Yeah. Avocado is a big one. I think I really upset sort of like London's Battersea Brunch Brigade with that.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Avocado is not nice. It's very boring. It's very bland, especially the avocados you get over here.
Yeah.
I don't even get to like my stance on poached eggs because I also think poached eggs are just fucking bullshit.
I agree with that, actually. I think they're too plain. And I was at a girls' weekend the other week, and we bought so many avocados to have on toast for breakfast.
Wait, you brought the avocados with you?
No, like we brought them down there to make breakfast for all the girls on this weekend away.
Okay.
And everyone was eating them. And I thought back to your post and I was like, this is actually shit. I hate this.
Yeah, it's just, you're not enjoying it. You're just having it.
Yeah.
It's nice with salt because salt's quite nice. It's just a vessel for anything else you put on it, really.
Yes. Okay. I totally agree with that. We're going to ruffle some feathers on this podcast, I think, this week.
Oh, yeah. I hope so. I want hate mail. That's all I want, really.
Yeah. You're asking for it, really. Our next question is, what are some of the strangest food combinations you've encountered?
Yes, I was actually speaking to a chef about this the other day, and he was telling me the weirdest thing that he eats on like quite a regular basis is pasta with cottage cheese and strawberry jam, which, yeah, I know. Apparently his Hungarian girlfriend turned him onto it, and it's a genuine thing over there in sort of Eastern Europe where that's quite a normal combination to have.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's kind of like an extended version of a cheese platter where you have a little like compote and then some nice cheese. We've spoken about this before. Someone told me on the podcast they like to eat cheddar cheese with strawberry jam on toast, and I said it was weird. But when you think about it, you can understand it.
It's like a chutney, isn't it? I can sort of, it's like the salty sweet. I know where it's coming from. It's just in a bowl of pasta. I think it's just a step too far for me. I once lived with a girl at uni who should mix together a tin of mushy peas and a tin of sweet corn, and should heat that up in a mug and just eat it like soup. So I don't think like yeah, I know, like peas and sweet corn, objectively not that weird of a combination, but I think it's just it was like the physical act of watching her pour out these two tins into like an oversized mug and just like nuking it to fuck in a microwave. That to me was quite weirded out.
Disgusting. It's such a uni thing to do. Like it would probably cost her £1.
Yeah, but like, I've got strange food combinations too. I like peanut butter and pickles. I think that's kind of delicious, like sweet and savoury. It's good stuff. Don't knock it till you try it.
What did you post the other day? It was like bacon and something, a donut, like a bacon donut or something with sugar on it.
Oh, it was an Nduja donut. Yeah. That's sick.
Oh my God. This is the shit you need to be doing as a food blogger, I think. This is what's going to get people talking.
Yeah, well, lunch yesterday I had calf brains, like fried. Someone sent me like a portion of brains and they're like, put this in a sandwich. I was like, okay, so I did and ate that. That was lunch.
Brains.
It's fantastic. I felt so clever afterwards, honestly.
Oh my God. It's like you're a zombie. You're a real life zombie.
I mean, I was a bit worried about sort of, I don't know if you can get any diseases off eating someone's brain. I know in Indiana Jones they eat the monkey brain. It's a bit not done, but it was a calf brain. Calf brains are fine. They're kosher. Right.
Well, moving from brains to dating, have you ever had a date come out of working with Mob?
I haven't, at least not that I've been overtly aware of. I mean, I've only been at Mob from obviously a few months since January, and I've actually just got into like a relationship, so humble brag. But that's kind of put the kibosh on it, I guess. Like early days, it's going like, yeah, it's probably not going to be a thing now. But I have got a couple of steamy DMs, which is good for the ego.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What? Just from your controversial food opinions, you've really riled someone up.
Yeah. Some people get riled up in the right way. I think it seems people go, "Oh God, yeah, I disagree with you, but I kind of like it." I'm like, all right, okay, sure.
Bit of back and forth there.
Yeah, a bit of back and forth.
Oh God. Well, thank you so much for going through the speed date round. So you told me a bit of a story about a date that you went on that was quite interesting. So if you want to regale us this story, we've got a couple of questions and then we've got some submissions from listeners of their food fetishes. So I'll throw to you to tell your story.
Yeah, for sure. So this is it's I don't know, it's not weird because there's anything really wrong with the date per se, but I did once go on a couple of dates with a girl who was deathly allergic to fruit and nuts, and it turned out she was basically allergic to like loads and loads of different things. So when I'm talking fruits, it's basically all fruits, every single fruit under the sun, but only if they're raw. So stuff like tomatoes, it obviously counts as a fruit. So like any sort of salads with tomatoes, complete no. But if you put like a tomato sauce in a pasta, if you cook it through, that's then completely fine. So I was sort of I was trying to like work my head around this. I was like, yeah, I didn't really understand it either. Apparently, like, really dangerous. She could have been in really big trouble.
Oh my God. I don't understand. What actually changes when you cook a tomato? Like, how is that possible?
She did explain this within like really great detail for a solid 15 minutes, but I didn't really take it in that much because I think I was just too shocked at the concept of it.
Oh my God. Yeah, that is quite strange.
Like, we never saw each other long enough for it to become a problem or anything like that. But I remember like trying to plan the second date. I've never been so stressed choosing a restaurant because I was looking at the menus bebeforehand.
Oh my God, I can imagine.
Literally every course would fucking kill her. I was like, you can't have that salad. You can't have this. You can't have that. Peanuts in the satay sauce. I was just, oh, you can't eat anything. It's fine. Just get bread.
Oh my God.
Just have bread.
I can imagine as like a massive foodie as well, that would have been quite challenging. So you're probably lucky it didn't work out because it would have been a huge problem for the rest of your guys' relationship.
I think that's it. Like, obviously, early days, it wouldn't have mattered too much. But at some point, I would have been fucking tired of it. I would have gone like, you know what? I'd really like to share a tomato salad with you.
Well, this episode is all about food fetishes, so it's quite appropriate that you are a food blogger and you are working for Mob. So what are the weirdest food fetishes that you've heard of?
Right, so I was doing some research on this and I came across the term sploshing, which is sploshing, according to the internet, refers to a fetish that incorporates food items either for arousal or during sex itself, and you just sort of you smear them onto yourself. So it's all about like different textures being smeared, placed, or dumped, apparently. That's quite strange, okay?
That is a strange one. This reminds me of a video I saw that someone showed me of this man who, well, it's actually like a company, and he likes getting wrapped up like a giant burrito. So they make a huge tortilla, put you in it, and then roll you up, and then they like throw toppings at you like cheese and sour cream and stuff, and they like yell at you while this is happening to you.
See, I'm quite claustrophobic. I think that's a terrifying concept. I mean, I'm quite into being yelled at, so that aspect, you know, I'll go for that. I'll go for the yelling, like just do that. If you cover me in sour cream, it gets a bit shady. Just don't wrap me up like a burrito.
It's a bit much. I do like being wrapped up in a duvet, like when someone tucks you in. But if it's in a giant burrito, I'm being screamed at and someone's sprinkling lettuce all over me, I'm like, feel like it's quite stressful.
How do they get a tortilla? Where do they get a tortilla that large, like a human-sized tortilla?
They make it. They're like a special company that does this to people. It's like this is like their whole livelihood is just making giant tortillas and wrapping people up.
Now I kind of want to do it. That sounds fantastic. Yeah. Now I'm thinking like a human-sized tortilla. Just to see that in action would be an experience, right?
I mean, I can link you to the video, but I reckon it would be quite nice to do it on a first date. You could both lay in the burrito together and get rolled up.
I'd rather do that than like an escape room or something, you know? Like, genuinely.
Something different.
Yeah, I was wondering, do you think does cannibalism count as a food fetish?
Perhaps. I mean, Armie Hammer, that guy who got cancelled for being a cannibal, he had a few little cannibalistic tendencies, but I don't know. I feel like it seems kind of wrong, you know, being wrapped up like a burrito is one thing, but eating another human is totally another thing.
I suppose if you wrap them like a burrito and then ate them, that would be less okay, right? Yeah. Kind of hot though. I don't know. The idea that you want to like saute someone and eat them, there's something to it.
Kind of hot. This is such a food blogger thing to say.
Cannibalism, kind of hot. Yeah.
Kind of hot. I totally expect that from you.
Yeah, that's the official take. You know, saute it with a few leafy greens on the side, like a little like fresh salad. Yeah. It's all right. Yeah.
Gorgeous. Did you have any other weird food fetishes that you've heard of you wanted to tell us about?
I mean, a lot of them I sort of read about was to do with like the feeding and being a feeder, like that kind of aspect, which they almost sort of, it relates like, it's sort of like sadomasochism, that sort of thing, isn't it, really? It's just domination and another form of that, like findom, like the whole financial side of it, that's weird stuff, but the food side is sort of equally as strange. There was one I came across, which is something to do with like stuffing, and there was this weird Reddit thread I went on when it was like this man who's giving himself an enema, so he filled up his stomach like a balloon, and it would just get really, really big and like till like fit to burst, and he would just masturbate while his stomach was like full of water, like a gallon of water. It was it's nuts, but like brilliant, you know.
Sounds like you went down one of those internet wormholes where you just find yourself like watching a giraffe give birth or something, you know. Yeah,
and I didn't enjoy it either, really. I think that was the lesson I learned. It's not for me, really.
The things you do for research, right?
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
If you had to choose a food fetish, what would it be?
Right. I think I'd probably be on like the receiving end of one of those like weight gain or feeding fetishes. So I wouldn't be a feeder per se, but I'd be like a feedee.
A feedee.
A feedee, yeah. So if I read one thing where there was something they're talking about how she gets really attracted to guys who gain weight and they look physically stuffed to the brim. And I feel like I could easily vibe with that lifestyle, seeing as I spend like 80% of my life full already. So I'm just walking around like quite full. All I've got to do is eat like, I don't know, an extra burger and then I'll be stuffed. If that's someone's kink, you know, I could easily fulfill that fantasy, I'd say.
If this person is encouraging you to work on your dad bod, then that can't be a bad thing, you know? Like, it's pretty much just living the life you've always dreamed of.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's just encouraging me even more. It'd be great. It'd be bad for my cholesterol levels. I'm not sure my doctor would be too great about it. I've already got high blood pressure. But, you know, I think fair game. Anything for love, eh?
Anything for love. I think if I had to choose a food fetish, it would be maybe like if someone filled up a vat full of baked beans and I could like swim around in it wearing goggles or something.
You'd be into that, really?
I don't know. It would feel quite cool.
What temperature are the beans?
Room temp. Or, yeah, probably room temp, and you like lower into them and they're all gooey and stuff. The fact I've even thought about this, I had to think about this question. I was like, I don't know, maybe like tin spaghetti or like beans or something. Yeah, this is what I would have to choose. We're saying this is life or death here. Like, you have to choose something. So
it's probably quite good for like can you exfoliate with like baked beans? Is that good for like your skin and stuff? That might be alright.
It'd be probably quite moisturizing or something.
Yeah, it's got to be good for you to some extent. I think spaghetti hoops, I'd rather bathe in spaghetti hoops than baked beans. And I don't know why, but my brain is going definitely spaghetti hoops, mate. It's so much better.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's all the same to me. I think it's about the sauce. So you wouldn't like it if it was ketchup. Ketchup, though, I don't imagine.
No, I fucking hate that. That would literally be my idea of a nightmare. I'd quite like to bathe in milk at some point in my life, actually. Like whole milk.
Like people have milk baths.
Yeah, but who are these people and where do they get that much milk? Because that'd be quite expensive bath. I reckon that would cost you at least like 15 quid.
15 quid? That's not that much. People spend way more on their beauty routines.
Maybe I should make myself I reckon, like, how many litres of milk would it take to fill in a bath? Like,
probably like 10 bottles.
Yeah. Probably slightly more.
I don't know. How big's a bath? Like 20 litres?
How long's a piece of string? Yeah, I don't know. It's got to be whole. Okay, whole milk. It's definitely whole milk. I wouldn't do it in skimmed. I wouldn't do it in like almond milk. Oat milk, maybe, actually.
Oat milk would be good for the skin.
Yeah. I feel like oat milk would be quite an expensive bath, though.
Oh, yeah. People have oat baths, though. Like, if you have chicken pox, you're supposed to have an oat bath. I think.
I don't have chicken pox very often, to be honest.
I mean, probably only once, you'd say.
It was just the once, actually. Yeah, to tell you the truth, it was just the one time. And back then, I didn't have an oat bath. I didn't think it through.
So we've got a few submissions. I asked everyone out there listening to submit either their favourite food fetishes or just weird shit that they've heard of.
How many people had a favourite one? Yeah.
I mean, a few of these are just people's actual food fetishes and the other ones are just things that they've heard of. So
nice.
The first one is putting my hand into a bag of rice. So I can relate with this one. I love putting my hand into a bag of rice.
Like a really big, yeah, that's quite, what? Yeah. I can imagine it. I imagine doing it right now and it feels quite nice.
Don't get too excited.
Oh yeah, well, it feels really nice. It's like ASMR, but for your hands.
Yeah, I feel that. And I feel like at markets, this is pre-COVID, probably like 10 years ago. If you're at a market as a kid and there's like big sacks of beans or rice or lentils or something, you just dive right in. You just dive your hand in, touch them all.
Have a rummage. I don't know what I'm trying to find in there either, like treasure or something. Just going for a dig. Just having a go.
Just having a little dig.
It's also great if your hands are like broken mobile phones. You can just put them in a bag of rice and it'd be really, really good at fixing them.
Yeah, therapy for your little hands.
Yeah.
The next one is standing on iceberg lettuce heads in stiletto heels and listening to them crunch. So this is really specific, but I can see how it would be good.
It's quite an audio on this. Yeah, I was going to say that's again kind of, it's like texture, just like a crunch.
Like ASMR.
Why stilettos though? The stilettos isn't interesting. I want to know about this person's like obsession with stiletto heels.
I know. I think it would just make a good piercing like crunch into that lettuce head, you know?
I feel like this one also combines like a foot fetish and a food fetish at the same time. It's like two birds with one stone kind of thing.
It's encompassing all fetishes in one.
Yeah, so if you've got like a food fetish and your partner's got a foot fetish, this is where they meet, right? This is what you guys can do together, and it'll bring you, a little bit closer. It'll be quite a cute thing to do as a couple, I think.
That's quite sweet. You've somehow made probably the weirdest submission, the nicest submission.
And then you can also have a salad afterwards, which is fantastic,
Yeah, no food wastage here.
Yeah, you can eat together in like post-coital just bliss, right?
Right, the next one is, I watched a documentary on Channel 4 about a brothel and one bloke had a custard fetish. Custard is nice.
Custard is objectively tasty. What does a custard fetish involve? Is it eating it or like
I don't know. I feel like it would be a throwback to my bean fetish where you could like swim around in it or like, it's quite smooth.
Throwback to my big bean fetish over here.
5 minutes ago.
Yeah. I was going to say, custard just reminds me of the episode of Brainiac where John Tickle walks on custard. I don't know if you've ever seen Brainiac before.
No, please explain.
It's like a British children's like science program. Richard Hammond used to be on it as well. Mm-hmm. Shout out Richard Hammond. If he's listening, Richard, get on the pod. It'd be great.
Please.
So John Tickle decides to check if he can walk on custard. So he fills an entire swimming pool of custard and he walks across it and it works.
Does he? What does he have to run really fast and like slap the custard with his feet?
Yeah, he doesn't even like run. He's sort of like, when you see like speed walkers and they have that kind of like slight lilt and it's almost like, it looks a bit ridiculous. He was doing that walk on top of custard and he completely like goes across it and it's,
that's amazing.
I distinctly remember it being a really important part of my childhood that taught me that anything is possible.
That's like Jesus walking on water, but it's Richard Hammond walking on custard.
Oh, yeah. But that's better than Jesus walking water, isn't it?
Some would argue, yes.
Some would argue.
Right, the next one was jelly wrestling. And this one's quite an obvious one, but I don't really see the appeal in jelly wrestling. I think it's because I have this thing with jelly and how it's made of animals and made of meat. It freaks me out. I don't get it. It's sweet. How is it made of animals? Please explain to me as a food blogger how this makes sense. I don't get it.
So it's the gelatin, right? So it's like boiling down pork bones to make a...
Disgusting.
And exactly. You try and... Imagine the marketing team who did this. They fucking nailed it, right? Whoever made jelly absolutely nailed the marketing. It's not an easy sell.
No. Let's boil down some animals and their bones, make it into a jelly, make it coloured, make it sweet, and then, sell it in tiny little boxes. Amazing.
Yeah. And they don't even change the name that much. Like, oh, it's gelatin. What can we do to make it sexy? They're like, oh, jelly?
Jelly.
Yeah, that works, yeah. Jelly. There we go. Now we're playing.
God.
Wait, is jelly wrestling, I assume it's like wrestling in lots of jelly?
Yeah, it's like two girls get into a little like blow-up pool. You fill it up with jelly and then they just roll around.
Okay.
So this isn't something that you've dabbled in then?
Not personally, no. It's a bit like that tickling fetish, isn't it? Like, it seems a similar ilk. I was thinking of jelly babies as well. I don't know if that's...
Yeah, well, that's going into a realm that we don't want to visit on Mads World.
Oh, God. Is that food fetish pedophilia?
Yes. Maybe. I think jelly wrestling is probably just to do with like girl on girl type thing, like just seeing two girls rolling around together. But it can be, viewed as a group and it's almost non-sexual, even though it is blatantly sexual.
Yeah, I just don't need the jelly involved. Just get rid of the jelly. It adds nothing for me personally.
Just watch UFC.
Yeah, if I could have like a bowl of jelly that I could eat and watch UFC, that's fantastic.
That sounds quite good, actually.
Yeah, that's an all right. That's a good night.
I was going to say, that's another good little date idea. Watch UFC, have some jelly. I mean, you can't have a vegetarian as a girlfriend because technically jelly is meat, and I will not ever forget this. But yeah, good little date night.
If anyone's singles out there listening, just get some jelly and order UFC and you'll be all right.
Pay-per-view. Yeah. So the next one is Korean girls being paid to eat loads of burgers online. So I've seen this, but I think, is this kind of what you were talking about with that feedee dynamic? Like, I don't really understand this. Like, some people just pay. It's like OnlyFans, but watching Korean girls just stuff their face.
These are like the mukbangs, right?
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, so a mukbang is like, it's a thing, I think it's Korean is where it was invented, where, that's the gist of it. It's someone just eats a massive meal on camera and you can just watch it. And it's like half of the audience are really into it from an erotic level. The other half are quite like sad and lonely and just want someone to eat with, which is like quite a sweet way of doing it. But there is something seedy about sort of watching some sort of like it's usually like a small, petite-looking woman as well.
Yeah.
And eating some really horrible, like, big Pizza Hut fucking botch or something.
And where's she putting it away? Like, it's usually like a 4 foot tall, like tiny little skinny girl, and they're just eating all this food. Like, I want this metabolism. Where does she get it?
Have you ever considered doing like a mukbang or anything?
I would love to do that.
I think you could just put it on the internet and people lap it up.
Really? Maybe I'll try it with Mads World. DM me if you're listening to this and you would like to see me inhale a Pizza Hut pizza, a large one, because I'm up for that. I mean, I do it for free all the time without filming it. So if someone wants to watch me and pay me, play on, player. Let's do this.
I was going to say, it'd definitely happen at some point. Just get Domino's to sponsor you, like sponsor the pod. It'd be fantastic.
Whoa, sponsor the pod. We could do a whole episode where I just eat an entire pizza and talk about my feelings about it, which is just literally what I'm doing most of the time anyway without being on a podcast. So Domino's, if you're out there listening, get in touch. Our next one is Mars Bar Party. So this one I'm very excited about because me and you both didn't know what a Mars Bar Party was, but Googling it was very interesting indeed. So do you want to tell us what a Mars Bar Party is, Lucas?
Yeah, okay. So Mars Bar Party, as far as I know or have been able to tell from the internet, is when you get your mates around, you have your standard massive orgy. Standard massive orgy. You get some Mars bars out. I was going to say fun size. I don't think they're fun size.
Jumbo size.
Yeah, the biggest Mars bars you can get your hands on, and you basically put them either in your anus or your vagina, and then someone eats it out. As far as I could tell, that was the gist of it.
Could you do it with a Snickers, or is it strictly Mars bars?
I mean, Snickers is almost too. It's too nutty. I think it's too much chewing involved with it. I tell you, I would actually, I'd eat someone out if they had a Bounty up their vagina. That'd be fantastic.
Okay, this is a controversial food opinion, Lucas. Bounties are the worst one.
No. Bounties are delicious. Like, listen, if you threw a Bounty party, I would be over the moon. It's coconutty. God. It's kind of sweet. You know, that's a sexier food. It's not. It's better than like a Twix.
Who is this girl you've tricked into being your girlfriend? You have the most controversial food opinions I've ever heard. Bounties. Are you the person who will eat the Bounties out of a box of Celebrations or whatever? Like,
yeah, Celebration. So I'm not only that person. I will literally save all the Bounties to the end because I like them so much, and then I just get
disgusting.
5 Bounties in a row.
That is disgusting. Oh my God.
Am I right in thinking you said you said Mick Jagger was a big fan of Mars Bar parties apparently?
Oh my God, yeah, I read this on the internet. Apparently Mick Jagger, his favorite thing was like a Mars Bar orgy. So I'm hoping that someone who knows him will reach out after hearing this and say, can confirm Mick Jagger ate a Mars Bar out of my butthole. It's just what they love. Rolling Stones, maybe they invented it. I don't know. But that's just what the internet says. And everyone knows everything on the internet is 100% true. So
yeah, as long as it's not a deep fried Mars bar. Yeah.
Is that a Scottish thing?
That's a Scottish thing. The Scottish love a deep fried Mars bar party. That's very much their fetish of choice.
So much girthier. I don't know how they're handling it up there.
Yeah. It's all the hot oil really that puts me off. I couldn't do that.
Oh my God. Right, our next submission is naked sushi. So I had to think about this one, and I think what the person who submitted this meant is when you like lay on the kitchen table, you're all naked, someone puts sushi over all the parts like that you want to cover, and then your boyfriend comes home and he's like, wow, what's going on? And you're like, surprise, I'm naked and there's sushi all over me. And it's meant to be like a romance thing.
I like the concept of like all your mates helping you sort of like arrange sushi on your naked body and then leaving you going, you're right now, all right, we're going to leave.
Yeah.
Leave the keys here. You're naked on the table, just don't move.
Yeah.
You know, have fun. Have a good one, guys, because like you can't do it to yourself, can you?
No, and imagine if the person never came home and you just had to lay there for hours with sushi like over your nips. Trapped.
You have a few maki rolls, a few California rolls.
Which parts would go where? Like, where are you putting the fish? Where are you putting the... Oh, you wouldn't have avocado sushi, would you? Because you don't like avocado.
No. I'd go for just sashimi. It'd just be straight fish on skin action, you
Disgusting. I feel bad. I feel like we're shaming all of these food fetishes that people have submitted. If you're out there, we are an inclusive podcast. We like all types of food fetishes. So it's all in good fun. You continue to do your naked sushi, your Mars Bar party, everything that you want to be doing. I support you.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to yuck anyone's yum here, you know. It's just not for me personally.
Yuck anyone's yum. Oh my God. The benefits of having a food blog. You must have so many good food puns. I'm going to have to ask you about naming this episode because I bet you've got lots up your sleeve.
I've got too many.
many.
Naked sushi, I'm quite hairy. I don't know how that works with like body hair actually. You've got to be quite sort of, I don't know, supine and almost like seal-like, I think, for it to work as well.
Seal-like?
Yeah.
like a smooth dolphin.
Yeah, like that's the first animal I can think of. What's a sexy animal? A seal, yeah.
Oh my God. So streamlined. Our next one is food belongs in the kitchen. So this is not a food fetish submission. It's a food fetish shaming submission. And as I said, we don't condone that. We want to hear everyone's disgusting food fetishes here. So this person can get lost.
Oh, yeah. Also, like, why not? Sex in the kitchen is also fine, right?
Yes. So food belongs in the kitchen. Sex can belong in the kitchen. All kinds of things can belong in the kitchen, depending on the kitchen. Our last one is just someone's written Five Guys. And this is a nice little, like a double meaning pun, because it could be about Five Guys burgers or it could just be about Five Guys.
Just Five Guys. It's it's simple, it's sweet, it's straight to the point. It's is it made with peanut oil? What do Five Guys do? It's peanut oil on the fries, isn't it? That's like their gimmick.
Yeah, that's their thing. But it could just be five guys. Your fetish is just Five Guys.
All at the same time. That's a lot of guys, though. I'd be knackered, honestly.
Knackered.
Yeah.
Five Guys is a lot. It's a lot of guys.
I hate set 4. 4 is a lot of guys as well.
Yeah, I'm thinking of like a naked sushi situation, but with Five Guys. Like you could have burgers covering you all over, or McDonald's.
That's not bad. That's not a bad idea.
I'd actually rate that.
It does get quite lukewarm though as well. Like the burgers again, it's not quite natural, sort of like a breast covering, as opposed to like a little maki roll. You know, yeah, it's not gonna do the job personally. You know, you need like at least like a junior Five Guys, the little burgers maybe.
Oh, that's so cute. God. Well, that is all of our submissions. So thank you so much for joining the pod, Lucas. Is there a note that you want to leave it on for all the people out there who've submitted these and all the food fetishes we've heard from today?
Just, you know, if you're into it and you're having fun, you're having safe fun with your partner, just keep going, you know, keep on eating food with each other and have a great time. That's all you should really do, really, in life.
Oh, see, that is just
have fun.
It's such a nice message. And so if you're out there swimming around in a big vat of beans, getting off to it, keep going. Play on, player. We love to see it.
Just keep swimming.
Just keep
swimming. Yeah.
Stop it. Right, I'll chat to you soon, Lucas. Bye.
Bye.
I hope you enjoyed my chat with Lucas. Please let me know on my Instagram. It's @madsworld.mp3 or my website, madsworld.co, if you have any stories or thoughts of your own to share. Love and elbow taps. Peace.